Wazoo, hello. I am not going to be playing Revenant. That was for me doing the solo runs. Anyways, hello. Welcome back to Elden Ring Nightreign. Black screen. That'll probably fix itself, yep. Alright, before we head into things, I want to quickly say Equilibrious Beast is out. The last one I did was Fisher in the Fog. And for the most part, I've been trying to do like the initial run, give my initial reaction and thoughts to it, along with me beating them for the first time, and then to do a second video where it's one of the last runs, if not the last run that I do, to give, I mean, like after 10, 20, somewhere around there wins, in order to have a better opinion of the boss and be more knowledgeable on the boss, be more skilled against the boss. For Fisher in the Fog, there was a 2-in-1 combo of I didn't really find them to be that fun, mostly because of the breath attacks. But then also, I got for 4 days in a row. This has never happened in my life, but for 4 days in a row, I had a headache. Not like super bad, but enough to where I didn't want to look at a screen. And I also had a messed up sleep schedule. So because of that, I did not get back onto the game until today, where Equilibrious Beast is here. So, whoops. I did beat Fisher in the Fog like 5 times, I think. I mean, I know that I've beaten them at least 5 times. I just don't remember if it was purely on this character, like 5 times on this character, and then more on my coordinated character, or if it was 5 times in total. But I've beaten them at least 5 times. But now we can head off to Equilibrious Beast. And there's also Gaping Jaw currently. But also, I dropped the Everdark Sovereign Fisher in the Fog before the normal Fisher in the Fog video. And I thought that was just kind of funny. That you would see the more difficult version of the boss before the normal version of the boss. Double a Raider, though. I don't know how that's gonna go. I mean, I've gotten a little better at Raider, and I think he's okay now, but... What do I have in this? Attack power for each Everjail completed, attack power for each Everjail completed, and Stone Sword Key, and then increased rune acquisition. Okay. I actually haven't been able to play Iron Eye in a little bit, because I've been playing with the coordinated group, which is mostly made up of Iron Eye mains, so I gotta play different people. That way we aren't running triple Iron Eye. So I've been playing a lot of Wilder. Or at least a bit more Wilder, I should say. And like I said, headache for 4 days. Elden bow right off the rip, that is crazy. I will happily take it, but Elden bow is like the best bow. The only one... Well, I don't want to say that it's the best, but it's the one that I'm happiest getting. And I want to look off to the right to shoot them. But yeah, the Elden bow, the pulley bow, and the black bow are unquestionably the top three. More runes from defeated enemies. And off of this way. It's been a bit since I played, so not going to have the best routing. We can get over here before dropping the weapon. Yeah, I don't know why, but sometimes the game just does that. I couldn't remember the in button for a second. Alright. But we're back at it. It just takes a minute. Also, those things, the like Sorcerer's Rises, without looking anything up, just with a lot of experience and playing with people, mostly random showing the different ways, and me accidentally walking into solutions. Game started there. But I have figured out almost every solution, if not every solution, for those rises. We can shoot that in case they want to go in. It's almost never worth it unless you're playing Revenant or Recluse. But, no. Just in case they want to. Now, I wanted to go here, then here, then here, but because that's the closest to the edge of the circle, yep. I was gonna say, because that's closest to the edge of the circle, and because we've spent a bit of time already, I'd rather go for that as it's the safest play. I was about to say, I hear something. Sacred Scorpion Charm, and this does holy damage, but I don't like taking extra damage. And maybe that's just one of those things where it's like, I would rather play it safe than play it efficiently. Because there are some cases where I put safety above efficiency. Because I am not the most skilled of players. But things tend to work out. Ooh, he's got Ice Spear. Ice Spear, if you haven't played Elden Ring, or if you haven't used Ice Spear in Elden Ring, ooh. The first thing had a secondary effect that was good, but boost HP restoration from Flask is also very, very good. And I would argue that it is even better. And because we already hit it, I can take my pin off, and that'll make things a bit clearer for the compass. Also, double rot weapon is so good. I love that for him. I was about to say, are we going up or are we going down? We're going down. We can run over here to grab the gold, increased rune acquisition. Nope. Nope. I will not allow it. I do not care for it. Oh, you love to see it. Break the mark him again. Could have used my ult, but we really don't need to use our ult here. I prefer... None of those are good, unfortunately. I don't like using my ult just to speed things up. I like using my ult when things are difficult. Alright, we can just mag dump him. Just because we're in a weird, awkward position. This Arrow Sting Talisman. Blessed Dew. Alright, Arrow Sting, objectively powerful. Especially for Iron Eye. And then Blessed Dew is my baby. Ow. Yeah, Blessed Dew not very powerful, but as I said, it is my baby, and therefore I'm going to use it because it is my baby. I must have it, keep it, protect it, care for it, show it the love that it deserves, and it needs to flourish. And he died very quickly and easily. And now we can move on. There's a certain path that makes this area good. I mean, this area is always good, but there's a certain path that just like maxes out the efficiency. This is not it, but I don't think we need to mid-max this area because of how good we're doing. Something I never thought I'd say with a double raider. Both of those were good for different reasons. Either more range or more damage. But I don't want to exactly play at range. Like, yeah, I'm an Iron Eye, but I tend to like to be in my enemies' faces. Improved affinity damage negation. Where are we going? Uh-oh. I do love seeing people get hit by that. The like shield bash, because they just go flying in the air and it's very comical. But anyways, They're dead. It's time to go immediately. We don't exactly have a lot of time to stand around. We have 215k. Crazy. I want to go for that early day too. Because there's a field boss there. And we'll get to use our stone sword key. Blood loss and frost. Not really that great, but I mean, unless it was Dragon Crest Shield Talisman, I would have just completely ignored whatever it was, would have pinned it and moved on. Okay. Raises stamina recovery speed. I'm gonna run in here because there's a chance. Not as good with the wooden chest, but there's a chance to get some good stuff. I'm gonna pick that up. I'm gonna pick that up. The reason for this is Libra does fire damage. I believe. I'm pretty sure. Frenzy and fire kind of go together pretty naturally, so I don't see why they wouldn't. But then this, because it is a colossal weapon, and they may want a colossal weapon. Despite it being called a halberd, it is a colossal weapon. Oh. Oh! Well, the spiders means that it's Duke's Deer Freya. And I'm just not a fan of the Duke's Deer Freya. Partially because I just prefer humanoid bosses, and partially because of the infinite spiders. Although, if anyone does like myth busting, I'd be very curious. In Dark Souls 2, fire like scares off the spiders, or like torches fear off the spiders. Fear off. I'm very good at English, in case you couldn't tell. I don't know what he's doing, but Eddie freaking out a little bit. But I wonder if you can get a torch and scare off the spiders. None of these are good. Oh, spider. Be gone, demons. Right. Now we can head over here. We can see what field boss we've got. 'Tis the Elder of Lions. I know that my health wasn't looking too good there, but I'm Iron Eye, and Iron Eye doesn't die. I can grab the reward after this. We can pop our ult, do damage to all three of these guys. We can mark him. And look at that. Easy win. 10k. We can run over here. Improved holy attack power or more stamina. I'm gonna go with holy attack power because the Elven Orc bow has holy. And because we did this, I can unpin, or I can take my pin off to make the compass clearer. And we can make our run over here. And they did that without me. I was completely useless in that situation. But I can distract the knight. Okay. Raise his physical attack. I assume that when it says add holy to weapon, that means that it's doing 133, like 103 physical and 30 holy. That's what I'm assuming. Could be wrong. I'm not a big, like, number person. Like, I'm not someone who looks at the numbers and figures them out and does mid-maxing stuff. In fact, for the most part, I just ignore anything that's non-physical. Okay, I'm gonna go for red first. Because those Frenzy Flame Trolls are so easy and so quick. Like, these encampments that have the Frenzy logo. Yeah, look how fast that is. It's so fast. Improved affinity damage negation. Buy those off of him. Gonna kill them. Gonna struggle to climb a fence. And we're gonna move on. Valiant Gargoyle or Blackblade Kindred. They're basically the same thing. It's a Blackblade Kindred. Yep. They're basically the same thing, except Valiant Gargoyles shoot like wind, which is like grayish white, whereas the Blackblade Kindreds, the thing that they shoot is like black and red, which does more damage. It's kind of like Deathbird and Deathrite Bird, where they're basically the same thing, but Deathrite Birds just have some more magic to them. Great, Holy Ground at low HP. We can run over here. We can get that level up. I was about to say boss, then the tunnel. Loretta. Loretta's pretty tanky. I'm sorry, the Royal Carrion Knight. They're kind of tanky. And actually, because of that, I'm just gonna mag dump. But despite them being tanky, they are very easy. I mean, just... they can take a lot of hits, but they don't hit too hard. And their attacks are pretty easy to avoid anyways. I would rather go into here. And then we can make our way up after that. I understand why blue is doing what they're doing. I don't disagree. But just having that smithing stone too is very nice. And look how easy that was. 104, 125. Yeah, see, black bow also very good. But you can't upgrade the black bow, whereas you can upgrade the Elven Orc bow. With a smithing stone too, that is. Which is why I say that I'm happier getting the Elven Orc bow. Though the black bow is objectively better, especially on like hold on, I'm struggling to remember the buttons. I remember the button. But I'm also going to hit level 15, so it doesn't really matter. Especially since I've got all this already. Over here. There we go. Rotten staff. I feel like one of them may want that. Yep. I'm fine going wherever they want to go. Boom. Final level. Main castle. All that's really left there is the top. Like, the boss on the rooftop, that is. But yeah, we can do that. But yeah, especially, like, early day one, black bow is just significantly better. Assuming that you can use it at level 3. Because you can use the Elven Orc bow at level 3. If the black bow is something you can only use once hitting level 7, then Elven Orc bow would be better because you can use it at a lower level. And that may be why I prefer the Elven Orc bow over the black bow. Because the black bow might be a level 7 thing. I just don't remember right now. But anyways, Earthtree Avatar. I love this thing. It is, my personal opinion, one of the most underrated bosses in the entire series. I'm not saying that it's like incredible or that it's like a top tier boss, but it's pretty decent. Yet I never hear anything good about it. I only hear negative things about it. Ooh. None of those are good. Rip. Alright. Let's see. This would bring us to 141. This is at 139. So I'm going to drop that and pin it. Unfortunate. But yeah, that wouldn't do much. Like, only 2 damage. Yeah, so I figured because I already have the black bow, like, I'll just drop the smithing stone 2 to them, and then one of them can use it if they want. If neither of them use it, then I would pick it up and upgrade the Elven Orc Bow and use that. But I just figured that my team could use it more than me because I have the black bow. So, yeah, part of this game is balancing between what's good for you individually and what's good for the team. And because I play Iron Eye, who is busted, broken, OP, please never nerf, because I'm bad at the game and can rely on him. Because of that, I tend to just go for whatever is good for the team. Don't really need to hit this, but... oh, why not? I told you, I remembered. I remembered the button. It took until, like, halfway through day 2. But I eventually remembered. My brain functions sometimes. Ah, they're going over there. Battle mages. Alright, that means that the other one is up here. Through that door that just got swallowed. And what did I say? I'm the magic man, I know. I know things that should not be known. I am taking lots of damage. And would like to sip my sippy to regain my health. There we go. I'm healthy again. Didn't even need it. See, Blessed was keeping me alive. And... well... okay. Well... they did what needed to be done. I feel like we did a pretty decent job. Oh! Deathrite birds are scary. They're weak to holy, and this has holy. So we're just gonna... you'll peel them, go towards the body, not the head, because even though it does the less damage, hitting an enemy in the body does more damage than missing them in the head. Like, a hit body shot does more than a missed head shot. We're going to do that for our safety. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Don't ask why I have shield as a right-hand weapon. Improved affinity, damage, and negation, I feel like is gonna be a bit better. Okay. I've got plenty of good things. Let's see. We can buy that, we can buy that, we can buy that, we can toss that. We can pin that. Beautiful. I'm gonna move it to there. And there we go. that's everything. So now we can head on over. Yeah, thinking about it now, I'm pretty sure that the Alban Orc bow, because it's blue, you gain access to at level 3, whereas the black bow, because it's purple, you gain access to that at level 7. And I think that's why I prefer the Alban Orc bow. Because it's been a while since I've actually thought about that. And all I remembered was, yeah, I prefer the Alban Orc bow. And I didn't really think beyond that. Outside of when I was forming the opinion. But I think it is the level difference. Could drop the Alban Orc bow. Because it's not useful here, but... oh well.
Make your choice.
I should expand my resistance ailments. Sacrifice stamina as payment.
It is done.
Oh, that was barely anything.
It is ripe.
That was barely any stamina. I'm fully fine with that. If it gives me more resistance to madness, then yeah, that's definitely worth it. Also, Libra, creature of night. Is this going to be one of the things of it has a single health bar, and it goes into the Everdark Sovereign phase? Those are floating in midair. I was gonna ask, is this a single health bar where it goes into phase... that? Partway through the health bar, or does it have 2 full health bars? A demon summons the condemned. No shot. No shot. You can stay away from me, freak! I got hit and got stunned because of that. Right. I'm going to drop that. That is not a good place to drop that because of that, but... I'm not panicking. You're panicking. Alright, he's dead. We're full health, so we can run back. No. A demon summons the condemned. A demon offers a false blessing. We're just gonna mag dump that, so that way it does a lot of damage. No. Level lost. Oh, is that one of those things where... okay, I think I know what happened. I think what happened was, when it said a false blessing, it changed the option. And so, the new blessing that it gave was that, like, you gain more flasks, I think it is. But every time you drink a flask, wait, no. I think it's you gain like a max level or you gain a certain number of levels, but every time you drink the flask, you lose a level. I think there's some funky connections going on. I think someone might be having some internet stuff happening. I hope that it's not me. I mean, I would hope that it would be none of us, but if one of us is going to be having a connection issue, I'd hope that it's not me. Wait. Someone's to condemn. Reveals an inseparable eye. Okay. Well, I'm going to mag dump to get them. Oh, hi. Oh. I was about to say, yeah, I'm dead. I didn't want to sip the sippy because that means losing a level. Even preaches madness. So we're just gonna do that. And hope that whatever happens, it works itself out. Alright. He's dealing with 2 people, so I'm gonna help him with that. Because I'm a good teammate who helps my teammates. Demon offers a false blessing. That doesn't sound good. Also, I've been seeing nothing but raiders. Like, I have not seen him summon a single Iron Eye. And I'm not saying that Libra over here is discriminating against Dex players. What I am saying is that as a Dex player, that feels kind of personal. Also, you may notice that I am not reviving Eddie. That's not personal, that's not me being a crummy teammate. That is, I tried, and the game just didn't let me lock onto him. And using a bow, if I can't lock onto someone, it's kind of very difficult. Even offers a challenge. What? Ooh. But yeah, using a bow, if I can't lock on to someone, it is very difficult for me to revive them. I'm gonna toss that down. And I'm gonna hope that he doesn't explode. Okay. I didn't even get to finish my sentence. even offers a false blessing. Oh! Please. Please. I'm sorry. I don't know why he's invisible, but... Ooh. Right. I've got to give the devs credit. This is terrifying. Like, this is horror. Also, I don't know where the two of them are. I see them. I cannot lock onto them. I'm not entirely sure on what hit me there. Okay. A little dumb that you can't lock onto them. Oh. I think it's a little dumb that you can't lock onto your teammates who are down. I don't see why the developers would do that. Seems like just hating on Iron Eye players, or ranged players in general. Like, that just feels like hating on ranged players. Because, ow. That doesn't really affect melee players that much, but it completely screws over ranged players. So, kind of feels like the game is just saying, hey, L ranged players. Oh. I was in the middle of shooting. Oh. Oh. And that is my final flask. I cannot lock onto the person directly in front of me. That revive, if they can't get it, that is very unfortunate. Yes, we got it. Tragic. I think all three of us are out of flasks right now. Which... very unfortunate. Whoa. Oh, this is unfortunate. I don't think we're gonna win this. I was trapped in that animation just long enough to get hit. How unfortunate. Yeah, look at this. Look at this triple Iron Eye. Or, triple Raider. That's what you call them. Look at this triple Raider setup. And then you got another Raider way off in the back. Oh, look at that. You got another Raider. Ow. Yeah, not a single Iron Eye in sight. I was about to say, I don't know if I can jump that. Good. I don't think we're gonna get this. Yep. Unfortunate. Still, though, that was very cool. And also, you can sell these, which is very nice. But okay, with that ended and no longer having to focus on the boss, I can give my opinions on them. I think that was amazing. Out of all of the Everdark Sovereigns that I've fought so far, being Gaping Jaw, Sentient Pest, Augur, now Equilibrious Beast, Dark Drift Knight, and Fisher in the Fog, so I fought all of them except for Night Aspect and Triaphlos. They're my favorite so far. I really like how they amped up the horror. Because that boss was terrifying. I really like how they summoned your characters to fight against you. I think that they were pretty well balanced. Maybe a little too easy. I feel like they should have made the Condemned a little more difficult and then the boss himself a little easier. And but that was pretty good. I would say also the big explosion they did that sent the 4 golden lines out. I'm assuming that if you try to walk across those, you get hit. Or like you take damage and get stunned. But I was able to jump over them. But assuming those are like dividing lines on the ground, I really like that too because it separates the team. And it adds to the horror. I'd say the only thing, or only things that I didn't like about the boss was that you couldn't lock onto your teammates who were down at some points, which just feels like a big middle finger to the ranged classes, like Iron Eye, Recluse, Revenant. But outside of that, the only, like, I wouldn't even call it a problem, just the only thing that I wasn't personally a fan of outside of that was some of the negative effects that it gave you that you didn't get to choose. Like it changing up what deal you got, and the little frenzy eye orb above you that would build up frenzy. But I don't really see that as a problem, more of just a personal thing that I'm not a fan of. But with that being said, I'm gonna head right back into him, and hopefully I'll be able to beat him. If not, rip. If yes, I'll see you there. Alright, attempt number 2. So, this one started off very unfortunately because our Duchess DC'd instantly. But then it went very good by me getting triple Albinorc bow. 2 that give extra range and 1 that gives blood loss. And also more range damage attacks. So. Ooh, I can only get 1 of these. That is unfortunate. If I had enough, I would have bought this. And then bought this to drop that for him. But yeah, I've got an Albinorc bow upgraded that does blood loss. And none of these 3 can be upgraded. And I can only shoot 1 bow, so... yeah. So off we go. But kinda wish that I had recorded this entire run because, whew, me and this Wilder, we played so good together. Like, completely seamlessly. Better than with some of the people that I go with on the coordinated run.
Make your choice.
I refuse to make a deal.
It is done. The time is ripe.
Because the resistance one, like, you get different deals depending on if you see them out in Limveld or if you see them here. And when you see them here, more resistance is just not good. I was debating on whether to just roll kind of greedy with that, wanting the warming stone healing. Worked out though. Almost like condemned. Yeah. They were able to hit me, but I wasn't able to hit them. Ow. I didn't see that until it was already too late. Right. Oh. When someone's a condemned, even preaches madness. Alright, so they're not necessarily... Ow. I don't think that they are wielding your weapons. I think it's just your characters with some predetermined weapons. Ooh. 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 Oh. And it's really not liking this right now. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Yeah. As you can see, second player is gone. So we just really got screwed over by the Duchess dipping immediately. And I mean, they left before the loading screen was finished, which makes me think that they had internet issues. Because the loading took a long time, and I didn't even get into the game before they had already left. But, yeah. Still, that, like, up until Libra, that was an incredible Wilder. We sync together super, super well. Okay, attempt number 3. I am loaded with 244k. And we have triple Iron Eye because I did not want to swap off of Iron Eye. I was willing to, but I didn't want to. Someone else was on Iron Eye in the third person. Before I went to go over to Wilder, the third person said, oh, a triple Iron Eye? And so here we are. And I kind of thought that they would skip this. But apparently not. Yeah. 120% projectile damage drop-off reduced. We have an Elven Orc bow +1. And then a improved damage negation at full HP, along with 4 warming stones, an opaline hard tier, and a crimson burst crystal tier.
Make your choice.
Want resistance to all elements, extra stamina.
It is done.
That is very much worth it, as long, assuming that I'm getting frenzy resistance. That's so worth it because the stamina cost isn't that much. Especially, I don't know if I have it, but okay. But especially if you get increased stamina and increased stamina recovery speed. Ooh. Then that stamina aiming really isn't that bad. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but Libra's visual design, ooh. Also, I'm rich as can be as a result of the sentient pest invasion. But yeah. I'm not sure why, but no way. But yeah, when the developers go for a frenzy boss, ooh, the visuals are just on point. Like, that probably should have hit me, but I'll take it. But anyways, like, both Midra and Libra, and then if you want to count it, Vike's armor set as well, out. Ooh. Oh, you do not have a lot of time. Like, at all, to get that. You have to be in position or you're not getting it. Okay. Also, I have the axe on me just in case I need to revive someone, but I don't have the ability to, like, lock onto them. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know if I have improved dodging or not, but it really feels like I have improved dodging on. Either that or I'm just getting really lucky. This looks like a lot of Condemned. Okay. Just rolling all of my shots. They weren't doing that in the first 2 attempts. But if they're gonna do that now, then I can just focus on the boss. Ow. Oh. Oh, that is a dangerous attack, that charge. That's scary. Although, like I said, this even offers a challenge. I am half elf. I feel like that's a wee bit more than just a oh. Yeah, I feel like that's a wee bit more than just a challenge. Ooh. They zipped towards me and they had a big kaboom. Yeah, that guy is being annoying with his thing. Ow. Whoa. Okay. That is unfortunate. Yep. Yeah, we got Naclatio. You can buzz off. Kind of weird, because this is a boss where you actually need to focus. Cringe roll spam. I was about to say, it is not letting me lock on him. Okay. We got that. And I know how you get rid of this. You pick up the little things on the ground. But I was about to say, don't really have access to the little things on the ground right now do we? I was hoping that would do something. It unfortunately did not do something. Ooh. Big jar. That big jar. Alright. Oh my god, they've got double big jar. And they've got roll spam. And they're big healed. And they've got Dire Die. Jesus Christ. And they're a triple bar with no ability to lock on. I feel like at a certain point, it's just better to focus on the boss. At least as a ranged character. Like Iron Eye. Where it's like, if they just roll spam everything, what can you do at a certain point? Oh. Instantly. Unfortunate. I don't think we're winning this. Nope. We had a lot going for us. The only thing that we didn't have going for us was the triple Iron Eye, because someone decided to be haha funny. But ah well. Attempt number 4. Pretty sure this is number 4. Got a pulley bow. And this stuff. And we got the same seed, actually. None of these are worth it, so...
It is done.
Here's make a deal. Yeah, I got the same seed, which means the same bosses in the same locations, the same layout,
Right.
the same everything. It was pretty cool. And we also have Full Iron Eye. No triple this time. This time we got a Revenant. And they've been doing pretty good. I mean, for the most part, my teammates have been doing very good today. Like, the only disappointing teammate I've had was the Duchess, who instantly left. But again, I think that was just a connection issue. Although I'm not entirely sure, considering they never rejoined. But did a Revenant proc Madness? Oh, you can see where the lines are going to be. That's very nice. I never noticed that before. And I'll pop this. Just because that was a pretty good time to do that. And I am very surprised that none of those hit me. I mean, I'll take it, but yeah. Drop one of these. What the hell? Oh. Oh. I don't know why, but I have a very difficult time figuring out when that, like, circular thing is going to hit me. I just assumed he was going to teleport onto me. Good luck, teammate. We're doing pretty well, I'd say. Well, look who just had to open their big fat mouth. Dodge. You'll love to see it. Okay. My only concern is that we, kind of ignored one of the churches until it was already in the rain. I probably shouldn't have healed there, considering the whole half health thing. So, that was a mistake. Get him up. Let's sip that. Very surprised that didn't hit me. The enemy revenant hit me and stunned me, so I couldn't dodge. Also, I can't lock onto the revenant. So, no. Right. Note to self. The enemy revenant is a menace. I was a clicking and a clacking. I was a clicking and a clacking on the dodge button, and my character was not a dodging. I was about to say, I would like to get over my teammates. I'll pop them with my ult, but I don't know how feasible that is. Ooh. Once again, I would like to point out that this version of Libra is legitimately terrifying. I'm all out of healing. Like, the only form of healing I have left... Ooh, is Taker's cameo. Although... Ooh! We did it! That was, I believe, 4th try. Let's hit him with the clap. Let's hit him with the reverential bow. Let's hit him with the My Beloved. W teammates. W Revenant. Iron Eye was serviceable. I'd say out of the 3 of us, Revenant pulled the most weight. So, W to them. Increased rune acquisition? Yes, please. I always love those. Alright. Now, let's check the reward. Alright. Taking attacks improves attack power. Pretty good for characters like Raider and Guardian and Wilder. Gesture cross legs builds up madness. Garbage, completely useless, beyond useless. I'd rather have nothing. And then madness continually recovers FP. That, I don't think that's worth it. Even if you got this for free, I'd still say not worth it. Well, that kind of sucks. But yeah, it took like 4, maybe 5 attempts. I'm leaning towards 4. But that was the most difficult Everdark Sovereigns so far. Out of these 6 that I fought. Like I said, everything except for Triophilos and Night Aspect. I fought Gaping Jaw all the way through Fisher in the Fog. And I'd say out of all of them, Equilibrious Beast is the most difficult. Dark Drift Knight got kinda close, but Equilibrious Beast, I'd pretty solidly say they're the most difficult. But they're also my favorite. I really liked that. Very good. But I beat them, so, yeah.